right, you guys, we are about to start our fall strength cycle. We're going to do a quick little rundown of how everything is going to work. And so I'll try to be as quick and as brief as I can be, but we got quite a bit to cover here. So we're going to start off with the structure of the week. And so for this 16-week strength program, we're going to follow the same pattern that we've been doing over the summer. All right, so Monday we're going to be focusing on the shoulder press, and so the bench press won't be an option anymore on Monday. We're just going to be focusing on the shoulder press. Tuesday it's going to be the back squat. Wednesday is going to be open gym, and that's going to serve sort of as a makeup day if you miss Monday or Tuesday or can't make it on Saturday. You can also do the bench press with this program on Wednesday, and that would be a good way to space things out. Thursday is going to be the Olympic lifts. So you're going to have your choice of the snatch or the clean and jerk, and you're going to have those options. Then Friday, we're going to be alternating between various lifts. And then on Saturday, we're going to have the deadlift. And so for this program, we're going to be primarily focusing on the three main lifts. So the shoulder press, the back squat, and the deadlift. And we try to spread out the back squat and the deadlift as far as possible throughout the week, just so that you would have some extra recovery time between the two lifts. We're also going to recommend, like I said before, utilizing open gym on Wednesdays, Friday evenings, and then Saturday afternoons to make up any lifts that you've missed. And obviously, the more consistent you are on this program, the better results you're going to have. All right, and so the program is going to run for 12 weeks long, so it's called Juggernaut. And we're going to be doing, after that is complete, we're going to do a 4-week peaking cycle in preparation of Festivus, where we're going to be testing out our 1-rep maxes for each of the 3 lifts. And so save this date on your calendar. It's Saturday, December 17th. We're going to be testing out the CrossFit Total. We do it every year. It's a ton of fun, great atmosphere to go after new PRs, and we always see people hit big lifts, and so don't miss out on it. I promise you'll have a lot of fun, and you'll see some big numbers go up if you make it. So again, that's Saturday, December 17th. All right, so let's go over how the program is going to work. All right, so to start the program off, what we're going to do is establish a training 1-rep max. And this training 1-rep max is going to be set at 90% of your current 1-rep max. All right, so if you were in this last week, you know we tested out all of the 3 lifts that we're going to be doing over the 12 weeks. And so you should have a good idea of where you're at. We're going to take 10% off of that, and we're going to use that for a training 1-rep max. Then every 3 weeks, you're going to test out a rep max, and you're going to be increasing your training 1-rep max so that over the course of the 12 weeks, your goal is to get your training 1-rep max above your current 1-rep max. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Okay, but that's the main goal. All right, so let's go over the structure, and I'm going to pull up a template that you can follow along with. And this will also be provided in Wodify. All right. All right. So again, this is a really well-structured 12-week program. This is, I believe, the 6th time we've ran through it. Consists of a hypertrophy phase or volume phase, then a general strength phase, and then a testing phase. So that should sound very familiar if you've been with us for a while. And the program is comprised of 4 3-week blocks. So it runs 12 weeks long. There's 4 3-week blocks. Each of the 4 3-week blocks is going to get progressively heavier. And so the program begins with quite a bit of volume. And as it progresses, the volume decreases as the weight and intensity increases. And so we're going to take a look at the first 3 weeks just to kind of get a sense of how it works. So week 1, this is our volume week, and we're going to be doing a 5x10 at 60% of your 1-rep max. And I will tell you, you're going to be very sore for these first 3 weeks. All right, it's a ton of volume. And then week 2, we're going to increase the weight to 67.5%. All right, so this is our strength week. And we're going to do a 3 by 10. So a little bit heavier than the first week, but less sets and reps. Then on week 3, we're going to be testing out our 10 rep max at 75% of our training 1 rep max. All right, and then week 3, at the end of each of these blocks, that's where things get interesting, and it also gets a little bit fun. All right, so for week 3, we're going to do a max effort at 75% of our training 1 rep max, and then based on your performance this week, you're going to increase your training 1 rep max by 2.5 to 5 pounds for our upper body lifts, and then 5 to 10 pounds for our lower body lifts for each rep that we perform above 10 reps. All right, so for example, on my testing week, let's say I perform 14 reps at 75% of my training 1 rep max. I'm going to increase my training 1 rep max by 4 times 5. So 4 extra reps times 5 pounds, that equals 20 pounds. All right, so just to make the math simple, let's say my shoulder press is 200 pounds. I wish it was 200 pounds, but let's say I have 4 extra reps on my 10 rep max effort. So I hit 14 reps total. Then I'm going to increase my training 1 rep max for the next 3-week cycle to 220. So I added 20 pounds to my training 1 rep max. We only do this every 3 weeks, all right? We don't do it every week. It's just every 3 weeks, and we're going to be letting you guys know how to do that and giving you guys a heads up as we get to that point where we're increasing our training 1 rep max. So don't increase your training 1 rep max. Just follow the program, and I promise you'll see great results. All right, so one reason why this program is so fun is because it is performance-based. Every 3 weeks you get a test out, and based on your performance, you increase your training 1 rep max. And there's going to be some limitations on how much you increase it every 3 weeks, but we'll get to that later. All right, so after week 3, we finish the first block of the 12-week cycle, and then we're going to begin our second block with a new training 1 rep max. And so week 4 is a 5 by 8 at 65% of your 1 rep max, or I should say your new training 1 rep max. All right, and then you're just going to follow week 4 using that same training 1 rep max. Week 5 is another testing week, and then based on your performance on week 5, you're going to increase your training 1 rep max for the next block. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, just come to class. We'll tell you exactly what to do. All right, and also really important to just to kind of reiterate that you start off by taking that 10% off of your current 1 rep max to establish your training 1 rep max. Because if you use your current 1 rep max, I promise you it's going to get super heavy, super fast, and you're probably more than likely going to end up stalling out before the program's over, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to stall out. You should be progressively increasing your training 1 rep max. You don't want to stall out on this program. And really the only reason why you would stall out is if you weren't following it properly. So quick little note on that. All right, so we're going to continue to provide 1 or 2 other options for our strength programs, and mostly that's just for new members that come in this fall. We strongly recommend everybody that's here right now take advantage of this opportunity. We only do it once a year, and we've seen both experienced athletes and beginner athletes do really well on this program. All right, so yeah, our goal for the let's go over our goals for our lifters here. So generally, we're going to categorize you into 3 different groups. So you're either an experienced lifter, and so that's someone who has more than 5 years of consecutive strength training under their belt. Intermediate, that's someone that has 2 to 3, and then a beginner is someone who has 1 to 2 or less years of experience. So for our experienced lifters, that's someone who has consistently lifted for over 5 years. Our goal is for you to increase your training 1 rep max, or your actual 1 rep max once we test out, by 2.5%. All right. And so hopefully, if you're experienced, your lifts are obviously going to be a lot heavier. And so we've seen really good results with that. and pretty consistent with that with our experienced lifters, and that's a good goal to shoot for. For intermediates, our goal is for you to increase your training or your actual 1 rep max once we test out at the end by anywhere from 5 to 7.5% of your 1 rep max. And then for newbies, people who have trained for less than a year, we have seen people increase their 1 rep max by over 10%. And so again, whether you're a beginner or an advanced lifter, you're going to see good results on this if you stick with it and if you're consistent on it. All right, so that about wraps it out. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I'll try to answer it. Otherwise, you can just save your questions for in class. We'll be covering this throughout the week too. And yeah, we're really excited to get started on it. We hope you guys are excited to get started on it. And we'll see you in class this week.